Welcome to Podfest. I have an extremely valuable presentation in store for you, whether you want to level up your show or begin your show today. Let's dive in and get going. My name is Vincent A. Lanci, and I'm here to share with you how networking transformed my podcast series. And to introduce myself a little further, I'm a three-time published author, speaker, coach, and of course, podcaster. Here are my two shows. I host That Entrepreneur Show that just hit 5,200 downloads and a mental health break that just hit 2,710 streams. Throughout my presentation, I am going to emphasize you to take chances, step outside your comfort zone, and send cold messages. No one wants to do that task, but if you cold DM, you cold message, you cold call, your podcast can hit levels you didn't think were imaginable. I'm going to share 4 strategies to network with, and to begin, I'm going to start with what started my journey in strategic searches. After I published my first book, Left for Dead, A Story of Redemption, my next mission was to launch a podcast to coexist with that book. I had no idea where to start, so I used the resource right in front of me in the internet and I searched top mental health influencers. Of course, you can't get discouraged with cold messaging because it is a numbers game, but to start my podcast series, I had 3 of the top mental health professionals in the country join me. To start my series, Dr. Denise McDermott joined the show, followed by Dr. Anita Sands and also Dr. Lulu. The second way to network is to tap into your network. Think, who would be a good fit to join your show? Think about your personal and professional relationships. Who most closely fits the subject area of your podcast? Who would be an ideal fit? And then, of course, reach out, reach out, reach out. Get outside that comfort zone. The worst thing that happens is they say no, and you got a little practice. Plus, you got to catch up with an old friend. Here are some individuals that rounded out my first 6 episodes for a mental health break. We have fellow traumatic brain injury survivors, Mike Bellevue and Chris Williams, and also one of my high school classmates and college classmates, Dr. Richard Basio. The third way I'm going to encourage you to network is by leveraging your social media. Learn how to use social media properly because we have hashtags. Think what hashtags best suit your show. The comment section is a great place to find guests. Go to accounts that resemble the subject area of your show and look in the comment areas. Who's commenting? Who's leaving messages? Those are great candidates for your show. And then right into their DMs. Don't be afraid. The worst thing that can happen is they don't respond or say no. Here is an example from my networking on LinkedIn. I simply put, I run a podcast called What It's Really Like to Be an Entrepreneur to inspire future business owners, where I interview entrepreneurs worldwide. I hit 3,100 downloads last week and have now recorded in Haiti, UK, Switzerland, and South Africa. I'd love to record an episode via Zoom with you. This guest said, thank you for thinking of me. Are you available to record on Friday? This is before my rebrand of my show, where I went to a new name, That Entrepreneur Show. But I said who I was, the milestones of the show as far as downloads and countries interviewed, and that I'd love to have you. And she did join me. Think, what hashtags are perfect for you? Which keywords will yield your best results? And fourth day to network, get to a networking event. I think you know which event I'm going to talk about on this presentation, but the more people you meet, the more things you learn, the more people you have a chance to put on your show. If they aren't a good fit, they may know someone who is, because it only takes one person to change your show. Here's some pictures from my first Podfest. I had an opportunity to do a book exchange with founder Chris Krimitsos, and here's a picture of me in front of the backdrop. The amount of people I networked with is truly uncountable. I've had members of podcasts to join my show from this event that are World Series champions, U.S. veterans, and so much more. But to round up, this will show you how far the podcast has spread since January 25th, 2020. We're around the world, and I've interviewed mental health advocates in 7 countries. On the other platform, we've already interviewed in 11 countries. So to wrap up, do your strategic searches, tap into your network, leverage social media, and attend networking events. And I want to thank you for tuning into my presentation. Please reach out if you'd like a copy of the PowerPoint or to collab. Just reach right out. I'm at Vincent A. Lanci on all handles, and my email is info@vincentalanci.com.